buy wine here. And I would tell all of them, I would say, you don't have to schlep from New York, you should go to winelibrary.com, this and that. Almost in 1998, 99, said that they didn't trust putting their credit card into a computer. So for me, 96 to 2001, and really 96 to 2003, was this incredible 7-year journey of watching the world go from completely dismissing Web 1 and the comforts of it, to it beginning in 2003 to where we are today, becoming the foundation of our society. That is inevitably going to happen. The question's going to become, to answer your question, is the coolest stuff actually Web 2.5 or is it Web 3? Because what I think is that almost everybody would give up the ideology of Web 3, complete control.
You mean like total DeFi?
Of course, because everybody loved total DeFi until their shit was stolen, and then they were mad at OpenSea, me, and Coinbase, but we're like, you're totally in control. We're not. I can't do anything. And so people want Web 2.5, and if they want Web 2.5, then it opens up everybody. Then it opens up Visa, then it opens up Amex, then it opens up Meta, then it opens up Google and Apple. And so the question I think that's most interesting in the next 36 months is, where is the world gonna land between Web 2.5 and Web 3? Because I think people don't want centralization in theory. Fuck the government. Everyone loves fuck the government until somebody comes to your home with a gun and says, get the fuck out of your house. Like, you're looking for the government. You know, and so, everybody loves the wild, wild west until they're the one that gets shot. So I think that what I think is going to happen is the world's going to be split up into Web 2.5, aka front-facing consumer interfaces that are not challenging, where the complicated shit's happening behind the scenes, but obviously the custodial then sits with Coinbase, not with you, right? But you're willing to give up that and willing to give up a piece of the transaction action to not have your shit stolen. And then what I like is that the people that want to be pure Web 3, like fuck Coinbase, fuck the system, knock yourself out. You can have a MetaMask, you can have your seed phrase, you can, and so I think that's what's going to happen. And so I think the coolest shit is going to be the company or 3 or 7 that build consumer interfaces that are slick, somewhat appease the Web 3 people, like very easy to like get off, like you know what I mean? Something that gives them kind of like an in-between, but really works for the masses here, so shit's easy. You know, and that's built, like, for example, to make it easier for, like, we're spending so much time on what are we going to do on our .com and our app that allows you to get verified for here, not have to touch your cold wallet, not like, right, even the fact that we've made everybody go with ID here, like, we're going to do it bubblegum and tape when I want to randomly do shit, but we're within 6 months of having that be seamless within the app and put you in a position to not be vulnerable to take off cold storage, but you'll have to be in first-party data within vfriends.com. Web3 maxis don't want that. Cool, how do you offer that while you are willing to put your information? So it's a lot of fun to think about Web 2.5 to Web 3. But for me, this is just like, I've seen this movie before. I was there, I lived it, it's how I started my career. Most people weren't. Most people weren't of the age or were not in Web 95 to 2000. So this is all kind of feels so ridiculous because we literally went into Web 3 from a mature Web 2. That's like a big drop off, and that's why we've had I mean, this merge, this Ethereum merge, the amount of people that are going to get scammed is going to be extraordinary because it's going to be all in the air. People fall for the things that people fall for. Most of the people that were scammed during the last 6 months were scammed on things that triggered their emotional trigger to be first to get the thing or to get a deal that they couldn't get otherwise. And they were too quick to connect. And in the beginning of it, people didn't even realize that you could connect and give access and be sold for. But the last 3, 4, 5 months, it's all been based on emotional trigger. The scammers know your trigger point. There's a free VFriend Series 3 drop. Go. I haven't said shit about it. I've never referenced it. You see it on Twitter, you're like, fuck, boom, boom, and you're out. And that's what's happening. And so it's just going to take an education cycle. It just is what it is.
Thank you for having us. Much
Thanks for being
appreciated. I think the biggest thing, and I'll be relatively selfish if I can.
Please.
I think I'm subjected to that saying that like jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I'm a damn good personal trainer.
Okay.
So like that's my bread and butter. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. That's what pays the bills.
Yes.
But the two kind of conflicts that I have is A, that takes away from, because I work with clients, like their schedule becomes my schedule.
Yeah.
Like no matter when they want to see me, that's when they see me. Like,
Yes.
and I'm always gonna be, mercy to that. But I have so many other things that I think I'm pretty good at that I could be great at, but I try to do them all.
Hold on. There's something really important there, which is you're not always going to be at the mercy of that if you're willing to not make that maximize its economics, or if you're so damn good, people will compromise into yours. Meaning, if you decide that you only work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m. to noon, only, so that you can really do your other shit, well then you could. And if you're so great, you might lose Harold and Susan, but Timmy and Sally are right behind them, and you fill those slots and you call it a day.
Yeah.
People get confused because they think everything is so extreme one or the other. And they don't realize they can create restrictions within the middle. Meaning, I just gave you the black and white way that you can control a lot more of your time as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
You just have trainer hours. You're scared properly, not scared. You're thinking properly.
I don't
want to lose these two people.
Yeah.
But the reality is if you make those restrictions, if you create enough of the content or demand in another way, somebody will take up those slots. And now you're 6 to noon, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can just I've watched a lot of trainers be scared shitless for that jump. And a lot of times when I talk to them, whether they're friends, acquaintances, or just random DMs I've sent, not only do I tell a lot of them the advice of doing that if they have this want, I also tell them to raise their costs in the same time. And the reality is there's a lot of demand for personal trainers. And so all of a sudden you wake up and you're more in control of your schedule and you're making 20% more per hour against that schedule, and now you're fucking rolling.
And to your credit, by the way, and part of, I'm trying to do that to an extent. Like, I've been super hard on TikTok the last 5 months, and like for anybody that doubts it, I had something go over 1 million views. Like, I went from literally zero, nobody on Instagram followed me that knew me. Like, these are all strangers. Like, UK, Germany, Spain, it's crazy. 3 pieces of content a day, every day of the week, like no matter what. So I'm trying to push that so that it can fill some of my earned income
there's also
time.
where do you live?
Stanford? I work in Westchester.
Right, so there's also a 2.0 version of that, which is you run TikTok ads only in that area so that the people that see, so you've got 1 million views on that video, clearly that video resonates. Take that video and run Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok ads only within a 20-mile radius of your home, where the copy says, if you're looking for training, email me here.
Yeah. And
So
that's
there's
worth it for a small business. Like, I'm one guy, tiny small business. Like,
like-
I mean, I haven't run an ad in my life. It's
I
been all
respect the shit
organic.
out of that. You know, like until 8 years ago, I'd never done a push-up in my life. You know, so yeah, I'm giving you the black and white that will
Yes.
change your life. The number one thing in social media that I'm most excited about now is something I call brand formance. You put out organic to these algorithms. All the algorithms on every platform are going to follow TikTok because it works. It works because it's more based on merit. We as humans who work hard and want things to happen for us based on our content want the algorithm to give us as many people as see it if we crush it. I would much rather every video I post get 17 views, 100 views, but then if I really got it, give me 19 million if the world is like, if the humans keep telling you, platform, that they still want this, that this is a hit. It's not that extreme, but as you know, TikTok is the closest thing to that. Now, Meta is going down that direction. Instagram's going to do that. I think you're seeing it in YouTube Shorts, which is why I've been saying it. Facebook spam pages, why I'm bringing it up, they're starting to do it as well. So the model is put out as much as you can, different shit. It hits. Now you know that people resonate with it. Now you take it back, the original video, and you change the copy. So the original copy of whatever got 1 million had copy.
Right.
Now you slightly tweak it and turn it into a right hook, right? Actually, I'll drop some alpha here. I am like 90% sure I'm going to write jab, 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 left hook.
Yes.
Right? Because when I think about what that book meant for so many people, if I can write, I wrote it 10 years ago. if I can write the updated version of it, I think it'd be value. So I'm like, the reason I'm probably even just said it out loud is I think I'm there. And I've already started like mapping it in my head, right? And so I think one of the things I'm going to talk about in that book for sure is this. Put it out, organically it hits, take it back, add to the copy or slightly tweak the copy to make it a transactional piece of content now, not just a brand piece of content. For you, it's PS. If you're interested in training in the Westchester, Connecticut, Upper New York area, please email me, info in my bio, and then run $500 worth of ads against that. It's going to work because the creative's already shown to you, because the algorithm now is not based on people, it's based on interest. So you know the ad is good.
I love that. Can I, really quick, YouTube Shorts, do I just take my TikTok that I create, just throw it on there? Or does it need to be like created organically on YouTube?
It's always preference that you contextually make it for the platform, because even if you start that video with like, hey YouTube, just that already changes the temperature. On the flip side, we throw my TikToks onto my shorts. Like, you only have so many hours in the day, you only have so much time and effort, and the reality is that are you limiting some of the upside? Yes. But if you don't have time to make one just for YouTube Shorts, the only reason I'm so hesitant to say it that way is I know if I open up that kimono, everyone's just going to make one piece of content and put it everywhere, and that's not the way you want to do it. For the time being, I do think so. On the flip side, there's a lot of Team Gary here. All of them are thinking in their head how different something is working on TikTok versus Instagram. Like, especially this last couple of weeks, we're seeing things where like we can get 1 million views on Instagram and the TikTok can get like 30,000. These are extreme differences, and there's a lot to do with it. Everybody always talks about propaganda, like TikTok knows that you posted it on Instagram, like all this shit. There's always chance for certain little things, but it's more about humans tend to understand the spirit of it. Plus, platforms are different. I have always said it. You're the same person, but when you're in your TikTok versus when you're in your Instagram versus when you're in your LinkedIn, your entire being is different. No different than a lot of scenarios. All of you are different in this setting right now than you would be if you were with your best friends or at your favorites. If I was at a tailgate of the Jets, I will be at a tailgate on Monday with my closest friends. My energy is going to be different than it is here. I'm in a different setting, it's a different context, and that's how these platforms work. But you should take that one of the things that Sid and I talk a lot about is Bon Jovi is still fucking selling out stadiums, singing the same 9 fucking songs. I still haven't gotten there, and I might even push it harder just to make it really a good part of jab, 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 left hook, because I don't even need to test it. I know the answer, which is if I just go back and repost, because we do it occasionally, and repost the 30 most successful posts I've had in my career, today, 9 years later, 4 years later, they're gonna fucking crush. That piece of what we don't do is squeeze the shit out of the viral post. That one post, you should get into shorts, you should set up your Facebook fan page because of it. You should do it 3 more times on Instagram, in stories, Twitter this. Like, it should be like squeeze the fuck out of that virality.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Put on repeat.
Thank you, Bob. They don't know I'm sure Rainmaker, be friends, be champion.
By the way, if you don't know what that is, this fantasy thing, I'll be in the Discord a lot more this week on it. Fantasy Football League, Rainmaker's really cool what DraftKings is doing. That to like very subtle utility. Like the thought that it costs you nothing to play the fantasy league, daily fantasy, but it costs you for the NFTs. The starter pack's free. You can't win with just a starter pack. You're obviously gonna have to buy some players, at least the way I'm looking at it. But the fact that makes you play the game and you can win, but then you still have the asset. That becomes a really good example of like why Web3 versus Web2. When you play, how many people here play DraftKings or FanDuel just out of curiosity? So as you know, you've spent money, you try to win, you lose or you win, but it's it. You paid entertainment value, right? You cared about Chiefs, Rams, otherwise you would have never cared about Chiefs, Rams. And you got your, it's why gambling works, you've got entertainment value. But with Playmakers, you have an asset value. Like you hold on to the collectible sounds like you're gonna be able to use in the future. A lot of how I'm trying to think about the trading cards with the digital, like there's so much cool shit that the future world's gonna look like that you can't see right now. So I'm really excited about that. Like Kalish and I spitball a lot of ideas. Like everything he's thrown at me the last 7 months, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. When he threw that, I was like, this is interesting.
I sold all my NFL all day NFTs and went into Rainmakers.
Very
I had a
interesting.
Jamar Chase and I got sold it like 200.
Very interesting.
For like $20.
Yeah, because DraftKings has all those users. Like there's a lot of people in that ecosystem. They have a real, that goes a little bit into Web 2.5, 2.7.5, like who can win? People that already have audiences. Anyway,
My question is, being out in Jersey, well, living in Jersey, do you happen to have any Boom Bearcat bottles stashed away here?
no, but I think I said this in the beginning, so I'm comfortable saying it, even not, I'm comfortable at this point to say it. We on purpose overproduced Bearcat because I was hoping once, you know, I don't know if you know this, but some of you do, because a lot of you have been on this journey. Whenever the wine started, we could ship to Jersey, and then there was a slight law change, and we couldn't, right? So, knowing that so much of my fan base, especially my wine fan base, is Jersey-based, we overproduced Bearcat, we let the whole thing go, and now Wine Library is gonna buy directly from Empathy, and so we're gonna have it at the store, hopefully this winter. And if we get it in time and my winter schedule works out, I might even do a bottle signing here of it, maybe.
I brought two. I do.
I'm gonna do it. My name is Andrew, and I'm gonna shoot my shot with a glass of water.